Hello, everybody. My name is Ryan Jones. I'm going to be your instructor for Math 120 this fall. And I wanted to start everything off with just a good little informational video just to talk about the course, talk about, how we're going to deal with this sort of half online, half in person, via Zoom setup that we've got going. So I'll talk a little bit about some of the specifics of the course, some details. I'll go on to D2L, we'll take a look at our course page, and then we'll actually look at Connect Math, which is going to be our online homework platform. The thing I really want to emphasize this semester is just how different things are going to be. A lot of the work is going to be on you guys to make sure that you're keeping up with material, make sure that you're watching the lecture videos and everything like that. Because we aren't meeting in person very often, as I'll explain in just a second, I can't be there all the time just to make sure that you guys are getting material delivered from me personally to you. I'm going to be making a lot of lecture videos. You'll be watching them, but it's going to be just a lot on your own. And I'm obviously there for help via email, I can do one-on-one Zoom calls, internal messaging in D2L. I'm very active with my students, so I'm always there to help. But let's kind of get into things. As I've kind of alluded to briefly, we do technically have these class times here. This Tuesday, Thursday, 9 a.m. or excuse me, 8 a.m. to 9:50 a.m. But because we're sort of splitting our class time into virtual Zoom sessions and the rest of it just being online on your own, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have our Thursday session be a Zoom session. I will be there, you will be there, and we can talk through things. I can answer questions, I can help you guys with material. You guys can help each other with material. We can work on problems, all that fun stuff. But the Tuesday session that we have, that's going to be sort of spread out into the ether, and that's just going to be considered you guys working throughout the rest of the week on material, on watching lecture videos, doing worksheets, doing your homework, things like that. So our in-class time, if you will, like I've said, it'll be split. So we're really only going to have one in-class session a week. And this kind of just like, hey, let's catch up and let's see how things are going and let's answer questions. Let's talk about some weird problems that you guys might have encountered and things like that. The rest of it is going to be on you guys. And for those things that you're going to have to do throughout the week and almost daily, at least I recommend it daily, we're going to have four big things. So we're going to have lectures, we're going to have worksheets, we're going to have assessments, and we're going to have homework. And so starting off with the lectures here, I'm going to pre-record all of the lectures for the course. And then you guys will have access to those. You'll be able to watch them at your own speed, at your own pace. You can speed them up, slow them down. You can pause them. You can come back to them. They're all pretty short, but at least that gives you the option of going at your own pace. So you'll have pre-recorded lectures by me about everything in the course. And you'll also just have access to my lecture slides. None of me talking, just a PDF of my slides if that suits you a little better. We're gonna have worksheets, and these are typically in-class worksheets. I generally give these out after lectures when I'm doing a normal in-person class. But because we obviously don't have class time other than that Thursday session, these are just gonna be for you to work on your own. Generally, every lecture has a worksheet. Not all, but generally most of them do. And so after you watch a lecture, you'll work on a worksheet, and that'll sort of solidify that material that you've just done. On that Thursday, like we've talked about here, that Thursday Zoom meeting that we have, that's going to be time for us to talk about the worksheets that you've already completed and just to maybe work through or answer questions on some tricky ones. But you guys are going to be working on these worksheets on your own. I do have fully worked out solutions to these worksheets, so there should be no issues on, knowing if you got the right answer, things like that. I've I have those pretty well typo checked and, checked for correctness and things like that. Obviously, there could still be some mistakes that have lingered, but for the most part, they're pretty good as far as I know. We'll have assessments. I still haven't decided yet how I want to do assessments. I've thought about doing sort of honor code exams, just giving you guys exams, telling you, hey, here's the amount of time you got. Don't get help. Don't go on the internet. Turn them into me. And then I've also thought about just doing some projects that are a little more, a little less sit down for, an hour and take a test. And they're a little more drawn out, a little more thought provoking. We definitely will have a final project. I'll make a note of that here. So we aren't going to have a final exam. We'll finish off the course with a final project. Just for those sort of quote unquote midterms, I haven't decided yet whether I'll do exams or projects. So we'll see. Homework, it's all going to be online. We got Connect Math. That's our platform for online homework. I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of what that looks like later. But that's just going to be your online homework. Self-graded. It's all just done right there, all in one website, which is pretty nice. Sweet. So let's move on. Grades. What we've got 3 sections here. We've got in-class activities, and like I've said, that's just worksheets. So I'm going to have you guys turn in worksheets, and I'm mostly going to grade these just for credit. Just if you've done it, great. If you put in some effort, you get 100% on that. If you just didn't do it at all, you're going to get a 0. If you've kind of done it, but you didn't really put much effort in, or you didn't finish all of it, or you were pretty kind of half-hearted, or I can tell you just were trying to submit something to get credit, you weren't really working on stuff, I might give you like 50% or things like that. But those worksheets are going to be mostly just for me to make sure that you guys are still, you're keeping up with your work. Homework, as I've said, is all online. That's going to be 25%. And then these assessments are going to be 50%. The possible exams and possible projects that we have, that'll total 50%. For your grade. So that's pretty much it on just sort of facts about the course. Let me change my screen sharing here over to Google Chrome, and we can take a look at D2L. So you guys should be able to see the D2L homepage. You notice for me, I've got my courses over here on the right, and I've got Math 120 pinned right there. It's just, I obviously access it a lot, so I keep it right there. I'm going to click on that, and we can see an announcement. There's actually one was posted today by someone else, actually. This wasn't posted by me. This class has an SI leader. We can look at other announcements. There aren't any yet because the course hasn't started. And TMF actually, it looks like TMF posted this. He actually is an awesome SI. He's worked with me before, and him and I have a great repertoire. We know the course really well. He's an awesome resource. If for whatever reason you can't get a hold of me or something like that, or if hopefully this isn't the case, but if you don't feel comfortable talking to me and you want to talk to someone who's like a fellow student, he's an awesome resource for that. So let's pop back to this homepage here. We're going to spend most of our time on course materials and content. And you'll notice here, I've got for now, just 3 simple sections. Administrative, I've got a course schedule and syllabus here, lectures and worksheets. Let me go ahead and click on lectures and worksheets here, and we'll take a look. As you can see, I don't have any lecture recordings yet. I haven't made those just yet. I'll probably make those periodically as we go through the course. I do have lecture slides, however. Those are already fully made up. And what you'll notice here is I have some numbers next to all these lecture slides. You probably can tell that number 5 is missing. So what I like to do is I like to give these numbers next to all of my lectures and worksheets, and these are sort of like session numbers. So on the first session of the course, you're going to watch a lecture on inductive and deductive reasoning. The second session will cover sets, and so on and so forth. But the 5th session, there is no lecture, and that's fine. There's just a worksheet for that day. So if we go over the worksheets and you look at it, you'll see that there's a worksheet number 5. And all it means is for that day, you're just only going to work on a worksheet. There is no lecture. So let's go ahead and click on worksheets, and we'll see worksheet number 5 Venn diagrams right here. There's no lecture that day, it's just a worksheet. But then what you can tell is there's no worksheet number 6. So that just means that on the 6th session, whatever day that falls on, we're gonna have a lecture, but no worksheet. So really these numbers here, they just are ways to, it's sort of a mapping between the lectures and the worksheets. As you can see, I've got the worksheet solutions all written up here. We've got those. To give you a better sense of this sort of numbering of my lectures and worksheets, let's go ahead and look at this course schedule that I've written up. This schedule will supersede the schedule in the syllabus. This is much more detailed. What you'll notice here is I've got session numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 going down. And as we looked at, on session 5, there is no lecture. There's just a worksheet here. And then on session 6, there's a lecture, but no worksheet. And that happens every once in a while. Sometimes we just do a review on some material, so there's nothing to lecture about. Sometimes the lecture is a little long and I don't have a worksheet associated with it. It's more spread out over the next couple days. But be that as it may, you've got lectures and worksheets, sometimes both. And I have written sort of recommended dates here for you guys to cover this material. Generally, this material is an everyday sort of thing. Obviously, our course is only officially scheduled Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I like to separate this out daily for 2 reasons. One, this is how I'll do my lecture recordings. I split them up so that they're a lot shorter because I know people's attention spans are pretty short. You don't want to sit there for an hour listening to me drone on. So a lot of my lecture videos will be more in the range of 15 to 30 minutes, so they're a lot easier to deal with. But I like having you guys look at those every single day. That way you're constantly being exposed to the material, you're constantly working. Math is just like a foreign language. You got to work at it all the time, every single day in order to stay good at it. You can see there's assessments here. I've written assessment because I'm not sure if it'll be an exam or a project. And it just goes down the line. We've got almost an everyday sort of thing. I think there's, in terms of session numbers, we got 64 sessions plus a handful of assessments and projects and exams. And there you go. That's going to be our sort of schedule for the course, fully written out and everything there. Let's pop back to administrative. I won't click here now, but we've got the course syllabus here. There's a lot of good stuff in there for you guys to read. Please make sure that you look through that. That's really it for D2L. There's other things here, like you can look at your grades and you'll submit assignments here, but I'll get into that stuff on a later date. Let's pop over to Connect Math. So I've signed in to Connect Math here. It says up in the top, welcome, Professor Jones. And we've got, for me on my Connect Math, I've just got the one course here. So I'll click on that and it's gonna open up the course and just boom, right in the front, upcoming assignments. It's just gonna immediately show you things that you have to do. I've got assignments with due dates and start dates here, and there's 34 total assignments. Generally, what I like to do as far as due dates and start dates go, an assignment will start on the first day that we cover material related to that assignment, and the assignment is due 4 days after the last day that we cover that material. So let's scroll down a little bit. If you see something like homework 6.5 down here at the bottom, it opens on October 2nd because that's the first day that we cover material from section 6.5. But then it's not due until the 9th. And so that day, how I come up with 9, that 9th day of October, is that I went 4 days past the last day that we did section 6.5. So basically what you can see is that 6.5 starts on October 2nd, it finishes on October 5th. I'm then giving you an extra 4 days to work on the homework, just so you have some more time to, solidify that material and work on it before doing the homework. We've got all our homeworks here. That's pretty much it. You can look at your grade book and things like that. You can message me through Connect Math if you have questions on a specific problem. It'll show me the problem that you have a question on, and I can click on it nice and easy. I would recommend not using the Connect Math messaging tool for general getting a hold of me. I don't get a direct email when that happens. I have to check Connect Math for that stuff, and I tend not to check Connect Math as often as D2L. Getting a hold of me, the best way is just by email, and you can find my email in the syllabus. It's just ryan.jones@frontrange.edu. The second best way is internal messaging in D2L. I'm fairly quick on that as well. But that email is going to be my primary source of communication with you guys. I'll respond to emails very quickly. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've got. Just highlighting the big things. Thursdays, class time, 8 a.m. to 9:50. That's when we're going to meet via Zoom. I'll give you guys more info on meeting IDs and things like that. We've got some lectures, recordings, for you guys to watch. We've got some worksheets for you guys to work on. And again, a lot of that's going to be you guys just working on that at your own pace. Well, at my pace, but on your own. And, coming into these Zoom sessions, the required Zoom sessions on Thursday, and, asking questions and the like. So that's it for me. I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording, and I'll see you guys next time.